So good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Gerard Acloque, and though many affectionately know me as simply Dr. G, I am much more than just a physician. I'm a son, I'm a father, I'm a bridge builder, I'm an educator, and I'm a healthy lifestyle advocate committed to transforming lives through medicine, mentorship, and promoting equity in healthcare. I'm also a proud, as you've already heard, first-generation Haitian American. As you can see, my parents are here today. Blessed enough to have both of my parents still with me. And they raised me in Hollywood, Florida, deeply rooted in faith in God, respect for my ancestors, resilience in spirit, and service to others. That connection to family, faith, heritage, community, hard work, legacy, and healthcare is literally my heartbeat. My path to this podium took me from FAMU in Tallahassee to medical training in Guadalajara, Mexico, to residency in Ponce, Puerto Rico, and back home, where I thought I'd never come back. And each of these diverse cultural landscapes, I saw a simple truth. Health is not only about medicine or medications and healing, it's about education, prevention, and making sure everyone I touch understand they deserve an equal shot at freely choosing whether or not they want to feel better. It's about finding lifestyle alignment, and it's about honoring the unique story each patient carries and ultimately respecting their freedom to choose. So over the last 21 years, I've learned that good health can be attained and obtained and maintained and lived through strategically truthfulness. All of my experiences in Tallahassee, Mexico, Puerto Rico, and back home have taught me one thing: health is more than just medication. And that's why I created the framework I call now the 3, 5, and 10. 3 dimensions of health, 5 foundational pillars of health, and 10 distinct actionable steps of lifestyle change. This isn't just theory. The 3, 5, 10 has evolved over the years, much like myself, into a proven roadmap to taking ownership of your health. And it's now the DNA of a system I've developed to educate all of my patients called Reclaim Your Health. And the goal is to impart clinical wisdom in practical education, resulting in more healthcare ownership and improvement of public health in our community, as each and every one of us do whatever we can to reclaim what God truly wants for us. And that is to be healthy, to be happy, and to be whole. And allow me to add even more context as to how I came to be standing in front of you today. In addition to everything I've told you already about who I am and what I do, and that is what's lacking now, my why. I also carry my late sister's legacy through the Nadine Baby Pearl Acloque Scholarship, which empowers only minority women in healthcare. Because I am in complete acknowledgement that when Black women are seen, heard, and understood, and represented in medicine, entire communities thrive. But when they are not, they pass away tragically from maternity complications or heart attacks like my sister did at the young age of 27. So today isn't just about the importance of chronic medical condition and compliance, it's about reclaiming your voice, your agency, and your dignity while learning to actively prevent, control, and improve them. Because the compliance in health is knowledge and freedom. Let's look at this scripture together. Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health just as your soul prospers. Compliance equals freedom. Compliance is a term we actually have come to use less as doctors because it makes many patients feel as though they need to submit to the doctor's orders without the feeling of freedom, but it actually means to stick to the plan. If the plan is a good one, for the conditions being treated, compliance actually reduces hospitalizations, costs, complications over time. Non-compliance, on the other hand, steals not just years, but freedom. Freedom to work, freedom to love, and to live fully. As we get older, all of us must get older, if we're lucky. The most common conditions we see are high blood pressure in our community, cardiovascular disease resulting in heart attacks and strokes, heart failures. We also see diabetes and its many complications like kidney failure and poor circulation resulting in amputations. All of these things can be controlled, if not avoided altogether, if doctors and patients work together. This is where the 3-5-10 health concept is such a powerful tool. So let's focus on it, because much like any other tool, you don't know how or when to use it, you won't get any use from it. So first of all, what is health? The World Health Organization defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Meaning, it is possible to be free of disease and still be unhealthy. 3 dimensions: mind, body, and soul. 5 pillars: nutrition, exercise, sleep, stress management, and mental health. And the 10 steps, which a little bit longer, we'll get into it, but it's a lifestyle roadmap that makes prevention practical. So let me ask you a question. If nothing changes in your health as I've just defined it, what is the cost to you? To your children? To your dreams? Compliance isn't about following someone else's rules. It's about choosing freedom with the full knowledge and understanding of what your choices offer you now and in the future. So what if? I'm absolutely telling you right now, you have the ability to use the knowledge you're given and attain on your own to make a change. You may or may not feel today, but when wisely used, is almost a superpower. In your home, with your family, at your workplace, you also have the same superpower to share what you've learned with others. Compliance becomes contagious when it's modeled. So let me ask you some more questions for you to think about. Why is your health important to you? Where are you now versus where you want to be in the near future or distant future? Is it acceptable to stay here where you are right now? And what if we take one step today? I would love for everyone in this room today to be like my patient, Miss Sarah. I asked those questions and she got involved with her care with me from her very first visit. She told me what her goals were and why. She allowed me to ask more questions to get to know her better. She trusted the plan we put in place together, and within 6 months, we had taken away several of her medications and dropped the rest to the lowest dose. Some would say she was compliant, but in reality, she chose freedom to make changes that aligned with her goals and agreed to stick to a plan we made together. Now, we've talked about the 3 dimensions and the 5 pillars, and I want to bring it all together for you with the 10 practical steps that make the 3-5-10 more than an idea. And these are the blueprint for how you all will reclaim your health by choosing freedom with each step. Step 1, objectively analyze the problem and take ownership. Freedom starts with truth. When you own the problem, you gain the power to create change. Ownership is freedom. Step number 2, Set a healthcare goal. Without a clear destination, you'll wander. Define exactly where you want to go. Goals are freedom. Step 3, understand your barriers and turn off the noise. Triggers, stress, unhealthy cycles, they steal your focus. Cut the noise and clarity comes alive. Clarity is freedom. Step 4, address fear. Fear paralyzes progress. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of and why? When you face fear, it looses its grip. Courage is freedom. Step 5, form a unique team and share your goals with people you trust. Healing isn't meant to be a lonely process. Accountability partners lift you when willpower fades. Community is freedom. Step 6, learn the necessary skills. No one is born knowing how to meal prep, or meditate, or pray, or manage their diabetes. Skills can be learned, and learning unlocks results. Knowledge is freedom. Step 7, formulate an achievable set of actions. Big goals shrink when broken into small, repeatable steps. Step by step, the mountain moves. Action is freedom. Step 8, form positive habits that increase success. Your habits shape your destiny. Replace destructive routines with ones that give life. Healthy habits are freedom. Step 9, reevaluate often and adjust accordingly. Life shifts, that is inevitable. So should your plan. Reassessment keeps you on track when the unexpected happens. Adaptability is freedom. And step 10, celebrate milestones. Every victory, small or large, is fuel for the next one. Joy is freedom. These 10 steps are how the 3, 5, and 10 dimensions, the 3 dimensions and 5 pillars come alive. They're not about perfection, they're about steady progress. And remember, every step you take is not compliance in the old sense. It's choosing freedom. Compliance starts not in the body, but in the mind and in the spirit. When willpower fades and fails, your deep why do you want to be healthy, sustains. For instance, when I am tired and feel like I cannot do any more, I fall back to my why. I must carry on to ensure the legacy of my sister continues through the scholarships. I need to continue working, networking, speaking, and telling her story to as many people as possible. My why is incomplete, so I continue on. So what then is your why? Who are you reclaiming your health for? Yourself? Your children? Your community? Your church? Your legacy? In closing, I want everyone here to make 3 commitments today. 1, choose one pillar to improve this week: nutrition, sleep, movement, stress, or mental health. 2, share that commitment with a loved one, someone you trust, to give you truth with love. Because truth without love is cruelty, and love without truth is hypocrisy. And 3, revisit your why daily. Journal, pray, visualize. Reclaiming your health is reclaiming your life. Compliance is not restriction. It is your bridge to freedom, vitality, and legacy. Let's not just add years to your life, but life to your years. May God bless and keep each and every one of you. And I thank you so much for your attention. Are there any questions?
Hi, I had a question. I have a niece, 27, and a nephew, 32, and they both have high blood pressure, but they will not take the medication. They said they're not going to take the medication. Now, I have a history of high blood pressure in my family, all my siblings. They do take medication now. However, I know it's God, I don't have high blood pressure at all. So what can I do to encourage them to take the medication since they've been in the hospital before because of their high blood pressure?
Address the fear. There apparently is a fear, number one, and possibly a lack of knowledge that someone has not taken the time to sit down and explain to them, one, the implications of not taking their medications, and two, what would happen, what could happen if they do. And that happens, and I'll be honest with you, that happens because we have been lied to. We have been mistreated in the healthcare profession, which is why I am adamant about lifting up us for our community to represent, see, hear, and understand us in the examination room and take the time to address, okay, why does this patient or this person decide or is gambling with their health? There's a reason here. There has to be. It's a rational human being. So either they have been misinformed or uninformed altogether, or there is a fear. And fear is quite literally darkness. So I'm here to shine light where there is darkness. And as a child, no longer do they fear the dark once they know what's there. So they need a better doctor, right? They need a better doctor who's going to take time and do what I just said. So that's how you encourage them. Find someone like, not just me, there's other doctors in the community like me who will take the time to address that fear.
Good morning. Thank you very much. I'm sitting here with all of us are seniors. And for what you just spoke to me right now and all of us, I think if the young people could receive what we're getting right now, it would mean so much. And I hope maybe something like this might happen again, that the younger people would come and hear what you're saying, because I have an awakening right now for what you're saying to all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I received that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'm willing to come back and speak. What public speaking into our health is my life's blood. On all of my platforms, I promote this thing, this 3, 5, 10 that I created, this lifestyle change as the root of how we treat and prevent medical issues. And medicine is later. First, let's start here. Let's change our lifestyle, and then we can seek medications if needed. So yes, I appreciate that. I received that. Thank you.
Why is it that blood pressure is such a thing that you don't know it? You can't, it's very rare you feel like your head is hurting, but sometimes you're fine and your blood pressure is so high. What is the reason why?
Well, God in all of his glory and knowing created a machine that is so perfect. And it's called the human body in physiology. And one of the things it does is it adapts. So as your blood pressure slowly rises, your body adapts. Like a mechanic's hands becomes calloused over the years, it adapts. But if you do it in one day, you'll get a blister. So blood pressure slowly rises. You don't feel anything because your body's adapting until it gets to a critical point. And that critical point can be heart failure. It could be a stroke. It could be a heart attack. It could be kidney failure. It could be many things. It could go blind. So that is why routine screening is necessary. One of the most common things I hear from younger folks especially, I don't feel anything, doc. I don't need to go to the doctor. But like this young lady just said, her family members are walking around And unfortunately, they don't feel anything until they do, and they fall into the hospital. So adaptation is the answer to your question. We slowly adapt.
You're showing us that we're body, soul, and spirit.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
I have 2 questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it true that you can get diseases because it's inherited? Your family has a history of it? Like say high blood pressure, thyroid disease, yes.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
it true? Is that really true?
Yes.
You can get
Yes.
stuff.
Do you have a 2-part question? I want to address it.
Yeah, that's one
That's one.
question.
So let me address that really quickly.
Okay.
Yes. Right? Because we all see that. We have my great-grandmother had diabetes, and then my mom had diabetes, and we have inheritable diseases. Now, does that mean I am doomed to have XYZ? No. Right? It means I'm at a higher risk for it. I'm at a higher risk for it. If I stand in the sun and I go out to the beach every day, pretty much higher risk for skin cancer, getting sun every day. But that doesn't mean I'm going to have it, but I'm at a higher risk if I stay in the house. If I stay in the house, it doesn't mean I'm not going to have it either. There are inheritable diseases. Unfortunately for us, that happens to be some of the most deadliest. High blood pressure, diabetes. Those 2 are, not 1 and 2.
What about cancer?
We are not higher risk for most cancers, but it seems to be an increased incidence in breast cancer in our women, in prostate cancer in our men, but we are not higher risk for other cancers like colon cancer or brain cancer or skin cancer. But those 2 seem to be a higher rate. Now there's many reasons that could be, maybe not all inherited, but we seem to have an uptick in our women in breast cancer, in our men prostate cancer.
Because in my family, we have a history of cancer.
Yep.
I'm a survivor. And then my next question, you
Yes, ma'am.
mentioned something about you can have nothing wrong with you. I mean, no illness, but still something could go wrong. Let me understand,
The concept is that health is more than just your lab numbers or whatever XYZ diagnosis you may have. We have mental health issues. We have issues of social disconnection that makes a person unhealthy, which is why many of the things that happen in our community happen, because people are so disconnected from the next man or woman. They don't have that social connection, so that makes a healthy individual. That's the point I'm trying to make, I'm making, is that health is not just the lack of disease. Health means a holistic aspect from mind, body, and soul.
When I grew up, I was a very active child. But slowly as I got older, my health slowly started to dissolve. So much so that I ended up having multiple sclerosis. Nobody ever explained to me how multiple sclerosis came into my life because nobody in my family had multiple sclerosis. I mean, I go to school, I got my degrees, and all the rest of that stuff, but my body is doing its own thing. How do I go about getting a screening to see how I can prevent some of these things day by day?
My heart breaks when patients like you say no one has ever explained to you your condition. That is unacceptable. It should not happen. And that's another thing that I take time to explain to my patients and anybody I meet, like yourself, why you're going through what you're going through. Because now it brings on a sense of, sometimes depression and guilt and other issues because you do not know what's wrong with you and if it's possible, that you can pass this on to someone else because you have not been given that light in the darkness and creates more fear. So I apologize on that, on behalf of your doctors that you were not explained fully to the point that you understand. Yep.
One more question.
Okay.
Should I go ahead and be proactive and try to seek like psychotherapy, psychology, things of that nature?
Let me say this to everyone in this room. Every single person in this room deserves to see a mental health expert. You should be offered a mental health counselor on every visit. Everybody has something going on. So everyone in my office gets offered a mental health expert, and it is absolutely not necessary that you see your doctor. On the back of your insurance card, there is a number, and it says mental health at any time, no referral needed. I don't care if you're HMO or PPO. Now back to your condition, sir. It is a genetic condition that unfortunately the nerves have an insulate, like a cable, like a wire. That's how nerves are built. And the insulation on the outside is breaking apart. And that's why your nerves are slowly been deteriorating. That's what multiple sclerosis is. A lacking of the insulation of the nerve, so it's like a short circuit of the wiring.
So is there anything I could do to slow it down or more?
We are searching for the cure for that. You should be offered a medication to slow down your immune system because it's your immune system attacking the nerves. So you should be on a medication for that.
I have high blood pressure. I have the same thing. Arthritis, we all have arthritis as you get old. And now my doctor's telling me I have osteoporosis. So thank God, my special doctor sent me to a bone specialist. And I thank God for it because now it's easing some of my pain with the osteoporosis. But it's just that it's a bad feeling, and I see you say rest. So what do you mean by resting in afternoon or morning? Because I get very tired sometimes. And my body, like all day, I just stay in the bed and sleep all day.
I understand exactly what you're saying, and I don't want to be misunderstood when I say rest. When I say rest, I mean making sure that you get 7 to 7.5 hours of sleep per night. In your case especially, what I do not want you to do is rest during the daytime. I need you to stay as active as possible here in the church or in your community, active as possible. That's going to make your bones stronger. That's going to make your pains better. I know it's probably hard to get rest at night because of pain and other things, but that has to be worked with your doctor. That's part of the strategy, the alignment you must find, right? Now, as far as your high blood pressure and other things, the 5 pillars, those are things that you can control. Nutrition, good nutrition, keeping the inflammatory and processed foods down, exercise, moving around, sleep hygiene, getting 7.5 hours of sleep per night, your routine to bedtime, stress management, keeping your stress levels down, cortisol levels down, keeps inflammation down and pain down, and finally, mental health awareness to make sure all of those things are in line.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so glad that I came here this morning and brought my mother here for this seminar because it's very important, and like the lady mentioned earlier, about young people being here. I'm 58, but I'm still young.
Yes.
But I think you mentioned it though about how important it is for us to speak positive and to keep our mindset positive and watch our energy and what we guard our gates so much to say. How important it is for us to not say, oh, well, my mother had diabetes, so I'm gonna have diabetes. Oh, my mother had this, so I'm gonna have this. Or my father, how important for us to not speak those things over our lives.
Our words and the thoughts become actions. We all know this. We do not speak these ill things into existence. But more importantly, one of the worst things you can ever do to yourself is tell yourself a vicious lie. Because you begin to believe these lies, and these lies fester and ruminate. You cannot run away from these lies because they're in your head. You're in the elevator, you're at your work. These lies begin to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you believe them. Never tell yourself a lie. Don't run away from it. Face it and tell yourself a truth. Reframe the sentence, the statement. Do not tell yourself lies. Other people tell you lies, you can walk away, but you can't walk away from yourself. So I agree with you. Just because these things happen, even if it's an inherited disease, it's been through every single generation, let's continue to focus on the things we can control, the 5 pillars, reaching out to our doctors, going out regularly, not complying, but forming an alliance with your doctor and adhering to the plan that you agreed to do. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.